Okay, today we'll be configuring the sample app to talk to the diskrot developer portal. This assumes you have an account already with diskrot, so you would come over to developer.diskrot.com, click on the login with diskrot, and that will redirect you to login.diskrot.com. You'll enter your credentials, and then click login, and that should redirect you back into the developer app. So let's just create an app name. So sample application. This is my sample application. We'll be working locally for now. So since we don't have a domain, we'll just say HTTP localhost, and our redirect will be localhost OAuth fallback. This is just the default one. And this will let us work locally. So let's create a project, and you'll see we have the project here, but note that it is inactive. So the next thing we have to do is come over to sample app, enable it, and then click save. And so now we have an application that we can work with. The most important thing here is going to be the project identifier. So let's just copy that. And if you're coming from the last video, you've already checked out the Flutter example app, which I already have set to open up. So we'll do trust authors of all files in this project. And yes, I trust all authors. And okay, this is our sample project that we've checked out. What you want to do is come over to the packages sample lib configuration.dart. Here, we're going to update this application ID with the variable value we copied. So it will be the same for both. Okay, so we want to update the variable in projects to match this. So we'll come back over to here, update that, save the change. So basically what this is going to do is when you're running the application locally, what's going to happen is when you click the button, it's going to send you to login.diskrot.com. It's going to pass along this application ID so we know who you are. It's going to pass in the redirect URI, so that after you've authenticated, it knows where to send you back. And note that it's going to be localhost, so it will send you from login.diskrot.com back to your local machine with an authenticated session. This is the API host. This is the production API server for Diskrot, api.diskrot.com. You won't need to change any of this information here or any of this information here. To launch the application, we're going to open up a new terminal session, and we want to make sure we're in the right directory, which is going to be packages sample. We're expecting to be running on port 8090. If you look at the README, we have this thing here. So what this is going to do is this will run your application in debug mode for Chrome, and it will start on port 8090. So notice that we know we've set this up correctly because when we were redirected here, it has our name, which was sample application. And so if I do my username, and let me just switch and get my password real quick. And if this works, when I log in, I should be redirected back to localhost. And look at that, I am. So we were able to successfully authenticate from our local app running on our machine over to the production Diskrot server, authenticate, and then we were redirected back into the local application. So from this point, you can start doing your local development. If you're unfamiliar with Flutter, let's just say we wanted to change this login screen here. We would come over to application app screen, and let's just say Alex is logged in. Save that. In this window here, you just press R, and there you go. We've updated the app. And then we can just log out, and we should see our logout screen. And it's just that easy. If you're working with the sample project, you really shouldn't need to change much about login. You would likely want to update your login screen. Perhaps you want this screen here to look different with your own branding, maybe a smaller or different color button. and you would adjust that as needed. So yeah, it should be very straightforward. The authentication code is all here. You should not need to touch any of this. There's a logger. There's a HTTP client app, which again you shouldn't touch. It handles all the authentication and the proper passing of information over in the header. And then there's the app screen. Now the app screen, obviously, that's going to be dependent on your app, so you want to, change this in any which way. Let's take a look over at main.dart. So here's where you set the title of your application. We have these various paths, so you should not need to touch this, or any of this. What you'll want to do is work with this case app one. So if you're making a single page app, you'd be updating your logged in screen, and obviously change that to be whatever you want. And what you want to do to make sure that this is being tested for a valid session is just wrap that in auth guard. So anything that's wrapped in auth guard will validate the token for you. If you make requests and your token is expired, it will automatically um, use your refresh token and handle that for you. So again, a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of authentication has been taken care of. All you really need to be concerned about are the screens and any additional logic you want to add to your application. So that's just a very quick look at the sample project and how you can start working with diskrot.com.